long-term orientation. Well, this is about, you could say, when do you want your goal to be reached? And I guess you all know, remember, or maybe you have younger brothers and sisters, when children are very small, they want a candy now, and they cannot wait till tonight. I want an ice cream now, and maybe later on they say, I'm now saving money because next year I want to buy a scooter or something expensive, and I'm already saving money now, right? So if you are 16, you might want to save money to buy a car when you are 18, right? So this is long-term orientation, and in fact, different cultures, so national cultures or families or religious cultures or professional groups, they differ in what are they aiming at? Could be reward in the long run, or could be completely different. So in the Netherlands, in the past, there was a lot of Protestant people, and Protestant people in the Netherlands, in their culture, there was kind of the opinion that maybe you have a bad life, but if you die, you will go to heaven and you will be rewarded. So they had a very long-term orientation, you could say. And there are other people who say, I don't care about tomorrow, I need to have enough money to have a nice meal tonight, and then I will see what happens tomorrow. So, cultures who have long-term orientation, they value tradition, and they value obligations to the group, because the group is in fact the basis for their aims in the future. And also they avoid losing face. You understand what I mean by losing face? Yeah. Nobody should ever blame you. You should make sure that we are. So businesses in this type of culture, they value a profit in 10 years. So they are not aiming at having a good profit next week, but we are building our business 10 years from now, our business will have grown. You see? And so this could be completely different. Asian cultures are very strong in long-term orientation. Western countries, most of the time, score low. So in Japan, you will find out that many people, in fact, are employed by a single company all their life. And in many cases, it's the same company their father or their mother was already working in. So, I mean, they focus on a goal that's very far out in life. And in Western countries, especially in my culture in the Netherlands, if I'm working in a company after 3 years, actually my boss expects me to move on, to go to another company. They wouldn't think it's bad. They would say, you've been working here for 3 years, are you now looking for another job maybe? I mean, this is a completely different country. In Japan, this would never be told you. If it would be told you, the message is you are a complete loser, you cannot do your job. In the Netherlands, it means, it was nice to work with you, maybe you should find another employer. Because you could grow and I will get another one to start growing. Right? So, it's a really difference, and you should find out in the client you are working with and the type of customers and stakeholders your client is working with, what is the actual orientation you are working for. Yeah? So, this is a nice example. So, Hofstede Collective. So, this is a Chinese student. And the Chinese student, in Western society, it honors its heroes. So, if you have a soccer player, if the soccer player last night made an excellent goal, today everybody will wave at him and the newspapers will tell him, he is our hero. Right? And in Asia, they honor their saints. What's a saint? Somebody who 200 years ago lived and he is still famous because he was such a good people. So such a good person 200 years ago, right? And I think this is a very good explanation that the Chinese students gave. Right? Okay. So, I'm not doing real exercises here. I'm actually going to point you to some reading. So I think maybe you should for now write down these URLs for each team, because I want each of your teams now to go and work with your laptops and read these 3 URLs. I will keep them here, so I'll just go to the next one and then come back. So there's another interesting thing. There's the cultural survival kit, meaning if you ever have to go to another country, if one of you ever thinks you should go and have a holiday in the Netherlands, go to the cultural survival kit and find out about the culture in my country. And you will survive, because you will understand the cultural issues, right? And this is another one. This is again Hofstede. You could compare the culture of your country with the culture of the country you visit. By saying, I'm a Dutch person, I'm visiting Italy, what's the difference? So, this one and the previous slide, these are 5 URLs, and I would like now for each group to write down these URLs, because this is what you are going to need for the exercise that starts now. And this exercise you have, let me say, roughly 1 hour for now, and tomorrow morning, after the presentation, there will be still 4 or 5 presentations, I think. After the presentations, each of the teams will have to present their exercises, and if possible on a small PowerPoint, 2 or 3 sheets. But you need to read these things. So, maybe write them down. So I give you time for these 2, and then I will switch back to the previous one.